Good evening and welcome to the West Orange Board of Education Public Board meeting on Monday, June 16th, 2025. I would like to thank all of you here in person and those watching from home for joining us tonight. I'd like to welcome my fellow board members as well as Mr. Moore and Ms. Flowers and our student liaisons. Ms. Flowers, would you please take the roll call?
Good evening. Roll call, please. Dr. Bryant?
Here.
Mr. Stevenson?
Here.
Ms. Vera? Mr. Ifker?
Here.
Mr. Rock?
Here.
Notice of meeting. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests are discussed or acted upon. In accordance with provisions of this act, a written notice was sent from the Office of the Secretary of the Board on January 6, 2025. That said notice was sent by regular mail to the West Orange Township Clerk and the editors of the West Orange Chronicle and by email to the Star Ledger. That said notice was posted in the lobby of the administration building of the Board of Education and posted on the district website. Please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and may be broadcasted on local TV and the district website at a future date. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In consideration of the closed and public meeting of May 5th, 2025, do I have a motion to accept the minutes?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ifker. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Any comments? Hearing no comments. Ms. Flowers, please take the roll call.
Dr. Bryant?
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson?
Yes.
Vice President Ifker?
Yes.
President Rock?
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, good evening to our student liaisons, Nina Davis and Abigail Rothstein. Please share your student liaison report with us at this time.
Good evening, everyone. I hope that you're all doing well. Nina and I are very bittersweet about this meeting because it's our last one as student liaisons on the Board of Education. I wanted to start off by saying that I'm so grateful for having had this experience to work not only on my relationships with my peers, but how I interact with adults, carry myself throughout life, and recognize the importance of speaking up and what I believe in and how to do it in efficient and effective ways. Working with the Board of Education, Mr. Moore, Mr. Guerrero, and Ms. Connors has been an absolute honor, and I can't wait to see what and who the next liaisons will do with this special empowering opportunity. I'll be attending James Madison University next year as part of their honors college and will be majoring in social work with hopefully a minor in chronic illness, hoping to one day be a child life specialist in the oncology department in order to help cancer patients and their families adapt with their life-changing circumstances. I will always be proud to have gone to such a diverse, empowering, and supportive school and to have been a student liaison alongside my friend Nina. So in closing, thank you to my teachers, family, peers, board members, and community. Like many parents said in our previous meetings, people come here for the amazing school system, and although times may be hard, I truly hope that one day Nina and I will have the pleasure of seeing your children be afforded the same opportunities that we have had, and we can't wait to see them change the world in many ways we know that they can. Thank you.
Mine isn't as nice as that. It was so sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay, my turn. As my time as a student liaison comes to a close, I want to reflect on my time and what this experience has meant to me. Serving in this role has been both an honor and a learning experience. It gave me the chance to listen to the concerns of my peers and the differing perspectives that reside within our town. Whether it's asking a small question or simply making someone feel heard, I've learned how powerful communication and collaboration can be when solving issues, no matter how big or how small. These are lessons I will certainly be carrying with me when I continue my journey at Rutgers, New Brunswick, where I will be studying journalism and media. I'm grateful to everyone who trusted me and worked alongside me. Thank you for allowing me to grow, serve, and contribute in this role. I leave it with a deep appreciation for the importance of student leadership and a commitment to always speak up for what matters. Thank you.
All right. Thank you both, and thank you both again for serving this school year as student liaisons. Mr. Moore, it is now time for your report. Would you please share your superintendent's report with us?
Thank you, President Rock. I forgot my glasses, so I'm going to do the best I can. So please bear with me. This evening, we have the pleasure of awarding one of our high school students with the Mountaineer Trailblazer Award. The Mountaineer Trailblazer Award were started by Dylan Pennell, a former student of West Orange High School, Susan Pennell, the mom of Dylan Pennell, and Donald Pennell, the father of Donald Pennell. I know they were here earlier, and unfortunately, we were in closed session and it ran over time. But I do have the great pleasure of introducing our proud principal of West Orange High School, Mr. Oscar Guerrero, who will honor our student Eleanor Kooks.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Superintendent Moore. I'll be quick. Obviously, our recipient this evening had a lacrosse banquet that was beginning and didn't want to miss that. Understandably so couldn't stay, but I just still wanted to recognize that student as well as the Pennell family. The Dylan Pennell Mountaineer Trailblazer Award is a prestigious recognition presented by the Board of Education and is given to students who have made significant and lasting contributions to one or more aspects of our school community, including culture, student life, school environment, curricula, and instruction. I have a few words from Ms. Suzanne Pennell about the award. Trailblazers are those who pave the way for others by breaking new ground, by challenging obstacles and never giving up. They possess courage, determination, and innovative thinking. They inspire and motivate others to carve their own path and make a difference. And they say, believe you can, and you're halfway there. This award was inspired by my son Dylan, who beginning in 2009 petitioned the Board of Education about having a junior ROTC unit at West Orange High School. The members of the board challenged my son to circulate a petition to see if there was interest in the student body. When he next appeared before the board, not only did he have over 150 eighth grade student signatures on his petition, but he also had the support of assistant principal at the time, Hayden Moore, teachers, administrators, board members, and local and state government officials. Dylan wrote letters to New Jersey's U.S. senators and representatives and to military officials in Washington, D.C. to gain their support, and finally, after 4 long years, the Mountaineer Squadron was introduced at West Orange High School at the beginning of the 2013-2014 school year, with my son named the first squadron commander. Dylan never gave up and worked above and beyond to see his dream a reality. That is the basis for this award, the Mountaineer Trailblazer Award. Over the years, other extraordinary students from West Orange High School have won this award, including Vanessa Letman, Sandra Guerrero, Marley Diaz, and Mason Bashkoff. When Principal Guerrero informed me who was chosen to receive this honor this year, I was so excited for what Eleanor Kookas has dreamed, worked for, and accomplished thus far in her life, exemplifies a trailblazer in every sense of the word. So on behalf of my husband Donald and myself, and on behalf of my own trailblazer, Lieutenant Dylan Pennell, I am beyond proud to present this award to Eleanor Kookas. She's not here, we give her a round of applause, please. And just to quickly give you just a few words about Eleanor, she is a driven 12th grader at West Orange High School who has left a significant mark on her school community. A true advocate for inclusion, Ellie, as she's known to her peers, spearheaded the creation and implementation of the Best Buddies program at West Orange High School, integrating it into the fabric of the school and fostering countless meaningful connections with our special needs students. Beyond her impactful work with Best Buddies, Ellie is also a talented drum major, a dedicated lacrosse player, and an active participant in a variety of West Orange High School activities, showcasing her diverse talents and commitment to school spirit. Congratulations, Ellie. On behalf of Ellie, I'll make sure she receives this wonderful award. Thank you all. Have a great night.
For our HIB report, since our last meeting, there have been 2 reports, and neither met the criteria for harassment, intimidation, and bullying. I concur with the findings presented by our anti-bullying specialist. Not yet. Thank you. I want to take an opportunity to publicly convey my sincere gratitude to our students, parents, and dedicated staff and administrators, and our supportive Board of Education for your unwavering support throughout the school year. It is through our collective efforts and strong partnerships that we have accomplished so much. And for that, I'm deeply thankful. I also want to acknowledge the diligence and efforts of all our students from preschool through high school. I'm incredibly proud of every one of their continued commitment to becoming lifelong learners. But a special congratulations to our board liaisons, Nina and Abby, who are graduating this year. I want to thank them for giving the public an example of what it means to be Mountaineers. Thank you for representing us. You've done a fine job. I appreciate you up at the dais, and I think that students should be inspired by your work. I've gotten a chance to see you guys, your personal work, which is amazing in itself, but what you portray and bring forth to the public is undeniable. We really appreciate all that you do. Congratulations. And also a special shout out to the graduating class of 2025. I'll see you on Thursday for the commencement ceremony. I'm looking forward to it. I'll be decorating my cap too. Yay. President Rock, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Moore, for that report. Are there any committee reports from the board?
None.
President Rock, from a policy committee standpoint, there's a first reading on the agenda tonight related to the high school. That policy has been reviewed by the board policy committee. It is the recommendation of the policy committee that the board advance into a second reading for next month's hearing and be ultimately adopted at the meeting in July.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Thank you, Mr. Ipker.
Thank you. I'll just say briefly that I just wanted to mention that we get a lot of emails and not all of them are ask for a response or want a response, but I do want to assure everybody that we do read them. And one in particular that caught my interest, which I just wanted to mention, is that there was a suggestion backed up with a lot of data that I didn't know about the benefits of starting school a half hour later. Children are sleep deprived, the comments were made, and the learning is not as good as if they're better rested. This has all kinds of implications in terms of scheduling and transportation and after school activities. But I just wanted, no need for me to mention their name, but I just wanted them to mention that, I just wanted to mention that we read that and we listen and we talk about such things and keep them coming. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ipker. Thank you for those committee reports. I would like to share my board president's report with all of you now and highlight Hazel Elementary School. Principal Castillo announced that Hazel Avenue Elementary School has been selected to receive the 2025 Sustainable Jersey Grant funded by the PSE&G Foundation in the amount of $10,000. The funds will be utilized for the purpose of a greenhouse learning space for our Hazel students. This announcement of this awarded grant was made very recently, and the district is very excited about this initiative. On behalf of the entire Board of Education, I congratulate Mr. Castillo and the Hazel Elementary PTA. We appreciate their collaboration, their hard work, and their dedication. The next item on the agenda is the first reading of Policy 5460, which Mr. Stevenson mentioned. This is the high school graduation policy. This policy has been reviewed and revised by administration and is presented this evening for first reading. Is there any discussion from the board? Hearing none, the policy will appear on the next agenda for second reading and adoption. Next, we will have questions from the public on agenda items only. Any community member who would like to make comments or ask questions, please come to the podium at this time. Please state your name and address for the record and then begin your comments. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Do we have any members of the public here in the audience tonight who wish to make a public comment?
Microphone is always very high for me, sorry. Hello, Superintendent Moore and members of the board. My name is Josh Goldfarb, and I live at 10 Nance Road. I'm a 46-year resident of West Orange, a teacher at Roosevelt Middle School, and president of the WOEA. Today is the final board meeting before our schools adjourn for the school year, and I'm thinking back about the challenges that we have faced this year. I think everyone would agree when I say that this year has been difficult at times. We faced an unprecedented budget deficit this year, and Mr. Moore had to make some very difficult decisions. Some I agree with, some I may not, but that's irrelevant because I know that they were done with careful consideration about how his choices would best serve the students. Let's think back to March when we were first told that we may be facing 100 job losses. I know that he and his team worked tirelessly to reduce the number of jobs lost due to these cuts, and eventually they were able to bring that number down to less than 30. And I want to be clear, even one job lost is one too many, but everyone involved should be commended for their hard work to keep that number to a minimum. Let's remember that these are not FTEs, full-time employees. They are mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, people starting their career, people who moved for this job. They have bills to pay and people who depend on them. By losing their jobs, their lives may be irrevocably changed. We would be morally void if we failed to remember that. In addition to the reduction in staffing, the biggest change being made is the shift to all middle school serving students in grades 6 to 8. This has been difficult for all involved. And again, to his credit, Mr. Moore reached out to the union for our input on the change, and when we were able to, we were happy to help out. I'd like to thank Mr. Moore for that, and I look forward to continuing to work as partners in the future. We have worked closely this year, and though we have not always seen eye to eye, our conversations have always been based on mutual respect, which I assure you is not always the relationship between union presidents and the superintendents. Many in the community may not remember, but in 1989, the middle school shifted from a 7 to 8 model to a 6 to 8 model. In fact, I was a member of that first cohort of 6th graders who went to middle school in West Orange at Roosevelt. Some support the change, some don't. But again, let's not forget that we're all on the side of doing what is best for the students, regardless of how we feel about this change or any other changes. And in the end, things will work out. Next year, we will see some New Jersey-sized bumps in the road, but we're going to get through it. We'll get through it by working together. It's going to be challenging for our middle school students, especially our 6th graders, and all involved deserve an extra bit of patience and grace. The students are going to need that. The parents will need that. You'll probably need it. And the teachers, I promise, will need that as well. So I want to end with a thank you. Thank you to the board for being willing to serve in a role that invites criticism from the public, including sometimes maybe myself. It's not an easy role to step into, and I commend all of you for filling your civic duty. And I know my times, but this is just directed towards them. So if I could have 10 seconds, please. I also want to like to take a moment to congratulate the student liaisons on their graduation. You have impressed me this year with your poise, your confidence, and professionalism. You guys have done a great job. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hello, good evening. Will Donahoe, 84 Cobain Terrace, West Orange. Member of the West Orange Parents for Education. We're still here. We got called out. We have a few members here tonight. If you'd like to join us, please come up to me afterwards. Anyway, I want to start by thanking Nina and Abigail. You guys are fantastic. Stay committed to your community. I was also a student rep. I'm here now in my town. You should get in student government when you get to college. We still have a lot of outstanding requests and questions for y'all. And I know that we've been diligent with asking those questions, but Ms. Flowers, Superintendent Moore, we still are asking to meet with y'all. Hopefully now that it's starting to quiet down with the summer, we can all meet. As you can see, the meetings are much less attended, so I would love to have our group be able to meet with you very soon. We did have some new questions from the meeting agenda that came out. The Assistant Superintendent Curriculum Instruction, the director and assistant director of buildings and grounds being abolished, wondering how we're going to manage the facilities going forward with those position changes. And then we just saw that the director of transportation is resigning as well, which with all the transitions, with everything going on with the middle schools is of concern now as well. So those are new questions we have. I know we've already emailed the other questions before, so really looking forward to meeting with you all. Again, thank you for being so diligent with everything. We know, same sharing Josh's notes here too, that y'all have been as diligent as you could be this year with what's happening. And so I hope that we can work together with the parents, with the community to try to fill these budget gaps, which are going to happen again next year. So we're here, we're going to stay here. We've already got parents for the next 3 meetings in advance that are scheduled to come here. So we're here and we're looking forward to working with you all. So thanks so much.
Thank you. Josh, I appreciate that. That was very nice words. We definitely appreciate it. I think we all have a common goal, and that is to do best for the community, our school community here in West Orange. Same to our parents. I understand. And we do plan to do workshops. We're trying to figure out how we can do that with some like quality to it so that we're not just shoving a bunch of things in front of you and saying, hey, you guys figure this out for us. But we will work with you on that. In terms of, yes, we lost some administrators. I think though, President Goldfarb mentioned that even though we were able to recapture some jobs, the thing about the cuts are, we tried to be as equitable as possible. And that meant a little more work for the administrators as well. So we have taken on more together, which would fill some of those gaps that you had mentioned when it comes to curriculum. We do have some very astute administrators, and those that are in. And a lot of what we do is going to be entrenched in research and data. So we're going to be able to work through our curriculum together. And what we'll have to do is team up with our teachers. And we're looking to do a lot of vertical and horizontal articulation, especially with the middle schools. And the proximity where students are in a building for a set amount of time. Also, teachers are in the building for the 3 years that the students are. We will do more of a surgical work with more of our students in understanding their development as they move from 6th to 7th to 8th, with not only just the academic support, but also the social emotional support, setting the foundation for high school. We think that the middle schools will give us a chance to do that both academically, but also for our teachers when we now move middle schools instead of just PLCs, but more department meetings where they're focused subject area from 6th, 7th, and 8th, and they can feed the information to all 3 live, where our meetings are driven that way with whether it's math, English, science, and where we can work, where we feel that being in the one middle school for the 3 years, we're able to do that. We're looking forward to that and seeing what that looks like, as we may not work that way right now exactly, but we plan to work that way going forward. As far as our facilities are concerned, yes, we did have to make cuts, and it was a 2-person job before, and now has moved into a 1-person job because we turned some of that savings back into the classroom and things of that nature. So, but we think we can still manage it that way. Yes, it's more work, but I think that we're going to ask the principals, which I know the principals are probably not going to want to hear this on the microphone right now, to work with their head custodians to do more localized things, concentrate on the repairs more localized, and then work with central office to expand those repairs a little bit more, so that instead of both of what we had before, where managers would have to go from building to building to building separately or together to try to figure out problems within the building, where we want to work with our principals and our head custodians to kind of identify and help us prioritize some of those repairs instead of just us at central office, because we have the purse strings coming in and saying, okay, well, we got to fix this or we got to fix that. Maybe we'll have a more localized idea of what needs to be fixed in what building, because our funds are limited. So we have to prioritize and pick and choose those. Now, we have to be as frugal as possible right now, as you know, and this we think will help do that. It was a surprise to us that the transportation director resigned. However, we do think that we can still we're looking to maybe have a transportation supervisor similar to a director, but there will be some breakage because the director and so forth comes with a different salary cap. Not that I should be saying this, I guess. I don't know. My breaking rules, so would tell me. But but we plan to, Tanya, you're the one that's supposed to stop me. But we plan to. I could, but I went too far. But we plan to work on it with our transportation director. What we would look to do is, with some of the savings, give our director an assistance with a dispatcher and perhaps someone else that we can break down some of those some of the transportation duties. What has happened as a result of the budget is we have a few less routes. And that has helped us because we're trying to figure our routes out where we can use maybe something, let's say a bus for high school and then a bus for elementary, instead of having so many routes that we had to triple up the runs, which causes buses to be late, buses to not be on time. So we're trying to be more efficient. Yes, it helps because more kids can walk to school because we cut so many routes, but it also has given us a chance to maybe not use buses in a triple route situation, but more of a double route situation with the way we have designed it. So we're looking at seeing some efficiencies. We will still move forward. I know that there were some things in my first year that I said right away, I want to do this. This is when I thought we would have the money. We started, but it hasn't stopped us. So we're still moving forward with air conditioning, which we've continued. Washington School, I'm proud to say, has been the first school completed with air conditioning and is able to get on. And we have the others up next. What we had to do, if you remember, is upgrade our electrical in all our buildings, because our buildings, elementaries, because they're old. So that cost plus that time plus tariffs and delays have caused a little bit of delay, but not extreme. They're still moving forward. So those things are still in place. With regards to transportation, we started with our pilot this year where you can track the bus on the K-12. We want to expand on that and use IDs for our younger kids so that parents that may not have the 360 thing, at least during our school day, know where their children are. We're able to make sure we know our kids are for field trips, things of that nature. We would like live data of where our students, we think that's important security-wise in today's age, and also tracking where our buses are going. We can use data to see what those routes look like, how long those routes go. There's many benefits to moving in a more technical position as far as transportation is concerned, but it also, I think, will help us going forward as we move into new leadership. And they will, but I will say, I want to give Greg Cohen a shout out because I presented this to him and he jumped on. He said, okay. And it was a big project, but he met with people. He worked on it. He got us to a certain point. So I think he's left it in a good place that we're able to pick up. We all have an understanding on how it works. So I think we're going to be okay with transportation. I'm actually optimistic about it. And I think there's some good changes on the horizon. I would like to say if we, hopefully, this will all come to fruition soon so that I can sleep. But we are moving in a direction, but we're able to pick up some of the pieces. We're just going to do a little more with a little less.
Thank you, Superintendent Moore. Moving on to our resolutions, may I have a motion to approve the personnel items A1 through A12?
So move.
Thank you, Mr. Ifker. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. I want to congratulate the following retirees: Vincent De Jesus, a science teacher at Liberty Middle School, for his 13 years of service; Connie Salambino, our Director of Special Education, for her 21 years of service; James Weidenborner, a social studies teacher at West Orange High School, for his 25 years of service; and Francois Douge, a paraprofessional at West Orange High School, for his 6 years of service. Thank you all, and welcome to the club where every day is Saturday. Is there any discussion on personnel? Hearing none, Ms. Flowers, please take the roll.
Dr. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
Vice President Ifker,
Yes.
President Rock.
Yes.
Thank you.
Next, may I have a motion to approve the curriculum and instruction items B1 through B2?
Motion.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Flowers, please take the roll.
Dr. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
Vice President Ifker,
Yes.
President Rock.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, next, may I have a motion to approve the finance items, C, special services items A1 through 11, and business office items B1 through 36, and addendum 37?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a few people for donations that they have made to the district. The Blackball Giving Foundation gave $350 to West Orange Public Schools. Dr. Joanne Polara gave $1,000 to Kelly Elementary. And the PSE&G Foundation is giving us a donation of $5,000 as part of that grant that we mentioned earlier in the agenda. Is there any other discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Flowers, please take the roll.
Dr. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
Vice President Ifker,
Yes.
President Rock.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, finally, may I have a motion to approve reports, item D1 through 3,
And addendum
and addendum
D4.
So moved.
D4?
And D4, the walk on a,
Reports item D1 through D3 plus addendum D4.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Stevenson. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Ms. Flowers, please take the roll call.
Dr. Bryant,
Yes.
Mr. Stevenson,
Yes.
Vice President Ifker,
Yes.
President Rock.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much to my board colleagues for that. Next up, we have petitions and hearings of citizens for any agenda or non-agenda item that you wish to discuss. You will have 3 minutes to speak. Please approach the podium at this time. State your name and address for the record.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jacqueline Hendy, 6 Beverly Road. I had a question for you guys regarding French in the middle schools. My daughter is going to be attending Roosevelt. Super excited. It's a wonderful school. And we received 2 letters, one that had French and one without. So I was just curious, is this because we couldn't find somebody to fill the position? Is this going to be a permanent removal from the curriculum? And if in either case, how do we continue the strength of that program throughout the high school? Is there going to be, is it going to, my understanding is the way that the idea would be that you'd start in middle school and continue that same language throughout the high school. So if French has now got a gap in it, what happens at the high school level? So I'd just like to hear a little bit about that. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes. Twofold. Yes, it's very difficult to find certified French teachers. That is correct. But we do have it fully at the high school 1, 2, and 3. We prior to, I believe, myself coming in, we didn't have languages. I think we only had 1 in the middle schools, but we added languages to the middle school. And I know people want to keep them and so forth. The budget plus the hiring and certifications, finding someone with the certifications. What we did do was to make sure that we've had people, we've even went back and tried to hire retired French teachers to come on to work a little bit. So yes, we see the importance of it. So no, we will try to maintain French. That's not That's no question. We want to maintain everything we have. We were gonna even maintain Mandarin. We just couldn't do it in the lower levels at first. But like anything, unfortunately, this budget was devastating. These were some tough choices, but also enrollment and certifications are also play the role in some of the situations, because not all are decisions. Some were like, okay, this is the situation we're in. We can't seem to do something about it. But I think that might be across districts, because I've pitched to my colleagues, and we steal each other's teachers at this point. I'll just tell you, Oscar, you could vouch. We steal each other's teachers because it's hard to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All right, that concludes public comment for this evening. Were you gonna? Oh, I thought you wanted to say something before we adjourned.
Oh, I did, but. Okay.
No, would you like to say something?
Oh, sure.
Because the next thing is a motion to adjourn. You
Okay,
can
well
take
then
your
let me
pick.
take the opportunity then. Thank
Brief,
you,
please.
President Rock. Just want to say a couple of things. Congratulations to all of the graduates who are graduating, all the students who are moving up, the kindergartners, the fifth graders, those students who are leaving eighth grade, particularly my son's fifth grade class at Redwood Elementary. They're looking forward to their middle school experience. Want to say a special shout out and thank you to all of the PTAs at all the respective schools for all of their hard work, and the parents that put in the time to ensure that all of the activities throughout the year are done and done for the benefit of kids. Sometimes the work of the PTA gets overlooked. I just wanted to take the time to acknowledge the work of the PTAs. And lastly, I just want to say, again, I stay consistent. West Orange really does benefit from the leadership of Hayden Moore as a superintendent, who is able to function on parallel tracks despite the emergent crisis in the last few months of the budget issues. He was able to continue to work simultaneously to move the district forward. So despite all of the unfounded, unnecessary, and unwarranted criticism in the last few months, he continued to lead. And so I thank him for that. Thank him for his willingness to engage this board in meaningful discussions around how we set forth an agenda that serves our students and their families. The policy that was the first reading tonight is indicative of that. The middle school 6, 7, 8 plan is indicative of that. And really just his overall manner in which he approaches the job is indicative just of his leadership and the character and the caliber of the person that he is. So it's my honor to serve with him despite issues that arise as the budget crisis. He continues to remain as consistent and constant as he is as a leader. And so as an elected board member, it's good to have someone at the helm who, despite these upticks of crisis, is able to continue to flow and function. So thank you, Mr. Moore, for your leadership. Thank you, President Rock, and my fellow board members for our stick-to-itiveness throughout any issues that emerge as we continue to do what we've been impaneled to do. So thank you.
This meeting will be held in the West Orange High School Library Media Center. We will not be going into executive session after the close of this meeting. There will be no further business discussed and no additional action will be taken. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Ivker. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dr. Bryant. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you for joining us tonight. Our meeting is now adjourned. We wish you a good night.
Picture?
Oh, with these.